feeling good, if you feeling good, if you feeling good.
17,
I can see it in your eyes, boy. And you know you can't deny, boy, that I know just what you like. So say what's on your mind, boy. You know I got it, I got it, I got it like that. Make it official, you get it like that. No time to waste, cause they want me like that. Want me like that. Don't be late, cause I've been waiting all day, all day, all day. Wanna be my baby all day, all day. Let me know what's up. On sight, don't hide it no more. On sight, let me know what's up. On sight, let me know what's up. On sight,
now you know it's on sight. Stop playing while I'm chasing you, baby. Well, you know I'm trying to bust a move, baby. Run my gang, leader at a zoo, baby.
This is Swingfield, the story of people trying to make their way in life, trying to get ahead.
5 minutes now on the downside of 12 o'clock. A very pleasant good afternoon to you. Welcome to Springfield's #1 With a Respect for Life show. My name is Brother Johnnie Muhammad. Be with you from now to the hours 1 o'clock. I'll be joined by no one other than Mr. Andrew, a.k.a. Soul Keaton, and we'll be joined by Mr. Councilmen Hurst. Make sure you call a friend, let them know the Respect for Life show is on. We got some things we need to talk about. You know how we do. Phone lines be open at 413-736-2781. That number once again is 413-736-2781. Give us a call here inside the Respect for Life show. Once again, our guest today on the show, Councilman Hurst. We have some things we need to talk about. Call a friend, and we're going to get right to it. So we're not going to be too long. We're going to be back in 2 and 2. Hey, it's on.
I love the way her hair feels thick and coarse, natural like her brown eyes and beautiful personality. The reality, she makes me smile when I'm upset and she lifts me when I'm down. I feel her. I feel her, I feel her, I feel her. Like I love the feel of her hair when she leans over and hugs me, telling me I am loved without ever saying a word. And as much as I love the sound of words, I just love how her hair feels even more. Unlike the feel of a temporary permanent, her permanent can never be temporary, because it's natural, just like her. So just close your eyes for a moment and imagine beautiful chocolate, caramel, brown skin with brown eyes and a afro that makes your soul glow. Chicken braided, faded, wearing loud and proud. She can lock it, drop it. She can rock that hairdo any way she wants. It just feels so natural. There's nothing like a sister with thick, coarse locks. I just love that natural, baby. I just love it.
I'm 6 years old and I love Betty Love.
Don't be nervous. Let go.
A little bit more bubbly. And do it again. Look at this camera, just one.
Look at the cameras.
Hi, my name is Jasmine and I love Betty Law. Is that too much? Say hi. Let's practice. Say hi, my name is Jasmine and I love Betty Law. Who do you love?
Betty Love.
What's your name?
Jasmine.
Alright, so let's practice. Act like you're going to Disney World. Say hi.
Hi, my name is Jasmine and I'm 6 years old and I like Betty Love.
Cool. I like that.
Disney World brought it up a little bit. How about McDonald's?
Hi, my name is Lenise Williams, and I am the sales and marketing person here for the Betty Laws Incorporated. My role here is to do all the sales and marketing, go out to the different venues to get everyone on board with the Betty Laws Academy. The Betty Laws, I just threw that, didn't I? The Betty Laws Incorporation. I'm in charge of the event plannings and making sure that all of the events are up to par, and then going out to the different companies and sell the Betty Laws Incorporation to the public and let them know just how important Betty Laws is to our community, and then also outside the community in the world.
I didn't hear all the snow. A lot of guys, we got a wonderful day, and we have a friend to the show. Stopped in to see us, kept his word. As you know, with all the controversy during the city council meeting a couple weeks ago, he called in our show last week and asked to come on to share his views on what was said, how everything turned out. He's here today. We have with us Councilman Justin Hurst.
Good afternoon, City of Springfield. Good afternoon, Brother Johnnie. Good afternoon, Brother Keaton. Thank you so very much for giving me the time to come on your show and actually further explain what it was that I said at the City Council meeting, although I think it was quite clear. And if it wasn't received, or if you missed something at the City Council meeting, all you have to do is pick up an African American point of view, and I lay it out pretty thoroughly in the African American point of view. So yeah.
Well, once again, we want to thank you for coming on now, and I want to say this before we even get started. This might be a two-part series, so we might have to have you come back next week to finish. As you know, they cut our show an hour, so we're only going to be going from 12 to 1. I'm sure that we're not going to finish everything that needs to be said or spoken of in 1 hour. So would you please join us again?
Brother Johnnie, I'll come on the show anytime you want me to come on. So if next Wednesday is not enough, I'll come on the following Wednesday and the Wednesday after that.
Okay, because I'm sure that the community, and this is what it's about, the community.
That's right.
Since you drew the community in, and you know, let's give the audience a little backdrop about what's going on. It all is around our sister Victoria Rowe being nominated for the Historic Commission. Now, as you know, she was nominated by the mayor's office, the mayor, and to my understanding, when I got word, there was a city councilor, Henry Twiggs, trying to rally the city council to vote against her. Is that correct?
I'm not so sure that he was trying to rally the city council to vote against her. I know he said he had 8 votes. I was still in deliberation, and so it actually took me the next 2 weeks, and after all of the rollout in the newspaper, the back and forth, for me to really formulate a decision. Normally I whenever I want to speak on an issue that is this sensitive, I want to take time to think about it, and that's exactly what I did in this particular instance.
But let me ask you this: seeing that he came to the city council to speak against Victoria Road, did he say he did not want her and tried to rally the city councilors? Did he try to rally you?
I did not hear that.
What did you hear, if you don't mind me asking?
He did ask for my support. He was adamant in saying that he didn't necessarily think that this lady had the qualifications. I told him I would think about it and I would get back to him.
Was that his words, or was his words, I'm going to teach her a lesson?
My recommendation would be, because I don't want to speak for anybody.
No, I'm not asking you to speak for him. I'm asking, did he say this amongst the city councilors? I want to teach her a lesson.
Not that I heard of, no. I don't. And knowing Henry Twiggs the way I know Henry Twiggs, I can't imagine that he would say something like that. And he certainly wouldn't say something like that to me, because that's just not how I operate. Yeah. You shouldn't be teaching anybody a lesson. If he did indeed say something like that, then that's inexcusable. That's not what we're here for, and I would not subscribe to that at all.
Yeah, well, I mean, whether he said it or not, that's how it came back to us. But you know what? In fairness, I know you asked for the clip to be played against it. And before I ask questions, because I have some questions, I have a lot of concerns about everything that was said, some things that you was said, some things that, I agree. I agree with. But let's play can we play the clip right quick, Brother Johnny? And then there's the questions that we have to answer, and we need to get to the bottom of that. Okay, so you fair with that?
I'm okay with that.
All right.
However long it takes.
They can go back. They can go back. They have to be back here and leave.
They have to be before the end.
I'm sorry. Thank you.
Yes. Okay, so basically I took the story outline that you gave me, and I just basically adapted it into a screenplay. I wrote it like a film script. So basically, all you have to, the scene headings are always in bold.
Okay.
So INT means interior. When you see EXT, it means exterior. And as with the format, you always say what the interior, exterior. You say where the location is, and you give the time of day. So you start off in downtown office. So I pictured this office. So interior downtown office building, day. Probably should have said conference room, but you all get the point. Well-dressed businessman. I called the husband Eric, and I called the wife Lisa, just because, sitting in at a staff meeting of about 5 people, so we can get a staff meeting going on. Basically, the flow of the story is, he leaves work, he gets outside, looks around, he's looking kind of lost, looking kind of, definitely not happy. We sort of see Betty Laws is like kind of watching from a distance, something's not well, something's not right. She tries tapping on his car window, but he doesn't really see her, doesn't acknowledge her. He goes to his house. Betty Laws sort of follows from a distance. He meets his wife. His wife asks him how his day has been. She sort of knows he's been acting kind of funny, kind of different recently, but she doesn't know what, really. They kind of have like an embrace, but it's kind of not awkward, but it's kind of like, it's not lovey-dovey, it's kind of, something's up in the air. So they have a quick conversation. She leaves to go buy him some tea later. He says he's gonna go take a nap, get some rest. He watches to see her go out the front door, and then when he thinks she's left, he starts taking out the metal case where he keeps syringes in, and gets himself ready, to inject himself. We see the screen go black.
Right, that's what I like.
That's what you
want.
Yeah.
I don't want to show the actual.
You don't want to show that.
Yeah, I want the paraphernalia of him getting ready.
Right.
After 2 and black.
Yeah, kind of build something up, build something up in your head. So then we cut to her in her car. She's just about to go. She puts her hand on the steering wheel. Once she puts her hands on the steering wheel, we see Betty Law's hand come and touch her hand on the steering wheel.
Okay.
And that sort of, she gets her thinking, maybe I should go back in there. So she rushes back in, went into the bathroom, sees, Eric on the floor, panics, immediately grabs her cell phone, tries to see if he's still breathing, and that's when we get Betty Laws busting in.
She's about to cry. She's crying to drop her hat. She gets fit.
Who is serious?
No, she's very serious. She's very serious. Yes,
That's when we get Betty Laws rushing in, like you said in the script, administering. I don't know the term.
Narcon.
Yeah, administering Narcon, and that's when it goes black.
Right.
Now there's no real. I'm not gonna record dialogue in this.
No.
But we're gonna have you doing a voiceover afterwards.
Okay.
And we're gonna have soundtrack.
Okay.
We'll have a film score going over it too. That's basically it. So.
And then we will have the rap song about the heroin that will be played. Is that going to be played during the credits or from the time the screen goes black after Betty's over him showing the Narcon?
Yeah.
Then the screen goes black again. Then the credits roll and they're going to hit that song, the rap song.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love the way her hair feels thick and coarse, natural like her brown eyes and beautiful personality. The reality, she makes me smile when I'm upset and she lifts me when I'm down. I feel her. I feel her, I feel her, I feel her. Like I love the feel of her hair when she leans over and hugs me, telling me I am loved without ever saying a word. And as much as I love the sound of words, I just love how her hair feels even more. Unlike the feel of a temporary permanent, her permanent can never be temporary because it's natural, just like her. So just close your eyes for a moment and imagine beautiful chocolate, caramel, brown skin with brown eyes and a jet black afro that makes your soul glow. She can braid it, fade it, wear it loud and proud. She can lock it, drop it. She can rock that hair to any way she wants. It just feels so natural. There's nothing like a sister with thick, coarse locks. I just love that natural, baby. I just love it.
When I first got the call that night, they had the subcommittee meeting when they were supposed to originally vote on Victoria Row. I left early. By the time the meeting was over, my phone was ringing. I'm getting calls from counselors who were told not to, they're going to support everyone, but they are not to support Victoria Row. They had 8 votes. They were going to keep Victoria Row off that commission. And I didn't understand. And I'm like, well, why? They said, well, we asked a certain counselor why, and he said, I know what's wrong with what I'm doing to my colored people, but I'm going to teach this little black girl a lesson. That was number one.
What voice was that you just used?
20 minutes down the outside of 12 o'clock. There you have excerpts from the meeting 2 weeks ago.
Yes. I want to start out by asking this question. Why did you choose that platform to do that, and why was the personal attack against the mayor's aide and the chief of staff when, to me, we were there for just a historical commission vote, but it turned out personally attack on those two, Denise Jordan and Mr. Darrell Moss. It seemed like it was a personal attack and on the mayor. Why was that platform used for that? Well, first of all, it shouldn't have been taken as a personal attack.
But it was, though.
Again, the way in which I presented it, I'm presenting what the facts are as I see it. And if folks are not well with the facts, if folks feel as though they disagree with the facts, that's up to them. But there was nothing about what I said that was personal. And when we come to the actual appointment, there were many things that I could have included that I didn't include that would have been personal with respect to the appointment. But that's not what I was there for. And that's just not how I operate. And that's not how I will operate. And so there was, in no way, shape, or form was this a personal attack. This was merely stating what is. And if folks don't know that over the last 4 years, coming out of the mayor's office, there have been repeated times in which they have supported black candidates who are running against black incumbents and have yet during their tenure to run a white candidate against a white incumbent, or even better yet, a black candidate against a white incumbent. And in my opinion, that divides the community. And if people don't want to say anything, that's fine. I could have said something 2 years ago about that. I could have said something in November. 2 years ago?
Why did you use this platform? Why didn't you say something 2 years ago?
I didn't say something 2 years ago. One, because I didn't think it was right 2 years ago. Right, when you do it once, that's one thing. Then when you do it twice, that's another thing. But then when it evolves into this, in which one of those candidates that you ran against an incumbent, when this ultimately comes out of it, the divisiveness that was clearly evident from the very beginning, I have a problem with that. And as a community, we shouldn't allow this to happen. Not over this issue at all.
Right, but Mr. Hurst, let me ask you this: Why wasn't Denise and Daryl called behind closed doors and your expressions concerned them behind closed doors? Why did it have to be open and on an event that was just on a voting event?
Because this is not about Denise or Daryl. This is about the larger community that I serve. This is about a number of people who need to be educated and who are not educated with respect to the facts around this appointment. So again, this had nothing to do with Denise or Daryl. In fact, it had everything to do with all of the leaders that were in the room that day. And if you listen to the tape, I said including myself.
Right. Yep.
So it had very little to do with the individuals who unfortunately are taking offense to it. And you know, the bottom line is that, in my opinion, I don't like it.
Right. But now let me ask you this.
They might enjoy that. That might, that might be something that they support. Yeah. I don't support that.
Right.
So why did you not say to Henry Twiggs, why are we voting against this? What did you as a councilman have against Victoria Rowe being nominated to this seat?
And I think that's also something that people don't understand. What I said that night had very, very, very little to do with Victoria Rowe.
So why did you vote against her?
The reason why I voted against Victoria Rowe was because of the system. If you are going to run black candidates against black incumbents, and you are not going to run white candidates against white incumbents, making the black incumbents work twice as hard to be elected, and giving the impression that those white incumbents are somehow better serving our community or better serving the city of Springfield, I have a problem with that. And then when you in turn take one of those candidates, and which in my opinion was an absolute smack in the face, appoint that candidate to the historical commission when the mayor himself wouldn't even tolerate somebody who ran against him serving on a commission. But in my opinion, that was divisive, and that's part of a system that I think needs to be eradicated. It is a problem.
So anytime you see a young black man, a young black woman who wants to run or has aspirations to run for an office, and because we have a chief of staff that's black, mayor's aide that's black, and they get behind him and support him, is that support is coming from the mayor's office?
When it happens repeatedly, and then you and again, when it happens repeatedly, and then you in turn take one of those same candidates and appoint them to a particular commission, that to me seems like the mayor was endorsing these candidates running against black incumbents. And I could understand if you ran white candidates against white incumbents, or even if you ran black candidates against white incumbents, but that has not happened. And there's no reason why we shouldn't. Everybody should have to work, not just the black incumbents. Everybody should have to work.
Yeah, I just want to say this on the Respect for Life show. We are not asking these questions to say, well, this is how it is, and we're listening to other people. I feel personally with me and Johnny that there were some things that was said that shouldn't be said. Another problem that I have, the leadership question, black leadership, running candidates against each other. Once again, you're talking about the mayor's office, the black candidates running people against each other, right? That's what you're saying.
Yes, I'm talking about coming out of the mayor's office. The mayor's aide and the chief of staff have been running black candidates against black candidates.
Why couldn't it be mentoring? Because why is the black leadership at fault for running black candidates against each other or grooming young black men? Because to me, I don't see it as running black candidates against each other. I see it as grooming the youth or grooming candidates. You don't see it that way?
I don't have a problem with grooming candidates. I just say groom them across the board. We have 3 white incumbent ward councilors who have yet to be challenged. And if you're telling me that you can't find someone in Ward 2 to challenge a Mike Fenton, I can't agree with that. And if you're telling me even better yet, you can't find someone to challenge a Ken Shea or someone to challenge Tim Allen, I won't subscribe to that. That to me, you should be able to find.
Who have you found to run against them? What have you done to raise up a young black man or a young black woman to bring them into politics to help them in this procedure? What have you done?
To be honest with you, I'm trying to figure out how to swim myself in politics. So before I can do anything, I haven't served as the mayor's aide for 8 years. How long have you served as councilman? This is my 2nd term on the council.
Second term?
2nd term, yes. So you have 2-year terms.
So you haven't found a young black man or a young black woman to raise up to help them in the political process at all in our community?
Again, let me understand the political process first. And the way I understand it, one thing that you have to do is you have to speak out against the wrongs that are being done, which is what I did that night. So if any of the young people in the crowd were listening, I'm hoping that they took something from that night.
Did you get back yet?
No. Like I was saying here, they always tell me, stop talking technical.
Oh, she likes technical.
No, what I was saying here,
I don't know technical, so I can't understand you. You speak technical. I don't know that yet.
But he always accused me of speaking technical.
You do.
Not speaking technical.
You must just sound technical.
But when it comes to editing, I know basically all the formats. I haven't worked on Avid in a while, but Avid I was trained on. But I'm pretty sure it's different. The last time we worked on Avid was 5 years ago, but I know Adobe and I'm familiar with I favor.
I used to read my mind, but I redefine what they consider delivery. I lead the time, you watch and wonder. This lightning, I'm chocolate thunder. Breaking backboards, I'm back for the black poor under the poverty level. They tired and worn, living in fear, they own home. See how they pride is torn. Bullet holes in the windows and sides is shown like a museum exhibit. You see just how they live it, bare bones, surviving off the scraps alone. If there was more for them to take, make no mistake, it'd be gone. But the only thing is no thing for no one. I'm looking at it like but I redefine what they consider delivery. I lead the time, you watch and wonder. This lightning, I'm